So gold and silver prices are surging. Here's what you need to know, and here's what you can do to take advantage of this gold and silver surge, because I'm here to tell you folks, it might not just be a temporary thing. This could be a run all the way up to $5,000 an ounce gold. So pay attention so we can explore why this is happening and maybe more importantly, how your wallet can benefit. So gold is climbing and silver is following. We know these are two things that are true. Yesterday alone, gold just hit $2,800 an ounce, and I'm here to say I think it's just starting. Yesterday, gold just hit $3,800 per ounce, and signs are this is just the beginning. They're looking at up to $5,000 an ounce gold, and what's interesting is silver is not that far behind when it talks about percentage of increases. It's a story you're going to want to follow, and we're covering it in depth on this channel called The Economic Report. So gold is pushing $3,800 per ounce. This is record all-time highs. Silver pushing $43, $44 per ounce. And folks, this is well off their lows, and gold at an all-time high. Silver working its way on up as well. So what's really driving these purchases and surges in precious metals? And folks, it's not just one story. It's a multitude of stories that are converging at the right time in history. Think about this. U.S. inflation, Fed lowers interest rates. And why? Because of the job market. Even though inflation is up at about 3%, which is a complete fly in the face of what the Fed has typically done in the past. Of course, there's global tensions as well. Think about just China and Russia alone, Russia and Ukraine. China constantly saber rattling that they are a world power and they have ambitions to be bigger and better and insert their influence throughout the world. And of course, we really can't forget about the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, flexing their idea that they want to have their own currency that would challenge the US dollar. So put all these things together, we know that there's a really, really powerful play going on right now. Now, the question is, will this trend continue? Is this just a trend, or is this a new normal that we're going to see gold push all the way to $5,000 an ounce? Well, let's spend some more time looking at this and maybe give you some direction as to what to look for in the future and what some of these warning signs are, and maybe some opportunities, and most of all, how it can impact your wallet. Persistent inflation. That's what the Fed says, and persistent inflation has an impact on your wallet and the value of your dollar and what you're able to spend that dollar on and what you're able to get in return. And of course, you could make a pretty strong argument that the United States exports all different types of things, but the number one export the United States has is inflated dollars. We export our inflation in US dollars all over the world. So with that comes geopolitical risks, right? Because all of a sudden there's more and more nations questioning whether or not they want to hold on to US dollars. And maybe one of the big factors they still hold on to it is there really isn't another viable currency, at least yet. So there's a hedge. The hedge becomes gold and silver. Those precious metals never go out of style, and they are always a flight to quality. In other words, people are always looking for a hedge against inflation, and when there's uncertainty, people look for something like a reserve currency that holds this test of time. It's not Bitcoin, it's not Ethereum. It might be Solana one day, but let's face it, gold and silver definitely stand there as solid tests of. We know that gold and silver really does hold up when there's uncertainty in the world. While nobody here can be a fortune teller and predict the future, we do have some indication of where things could be heading when it comes to gold and silver prices. I'm not here to pump the markets as much as just to lay out a case and state some facts that maybe many of you already know. And the only thing I'll charge you is a like and a subscribe to this channel, because it does wonders for the channel and it helps YouTube let you know that this really is a good channel that you appreciate. Please drop your comments below, because I do respond to every single one of those as well. So we already know there's a significant trend on gold. If we take a look at the charts here, we're taking a look at the 1 day, 1 month, 1 year chart on gold, and we see a continuous upward slope. You can do the same thing with silver, and silver really has caught on as of late, and we're talking about a pretty significant jump over the past month and a half, 2 months. So silver really could be in play and could be playing catch up with gold. So keep an eye on that one. And listen, folks, we are all aware that there are such things as financial bubbles as well. If we know anything about the old story about the tulip bulb industry, we know that people jumped all over things that they thought were going to go on forever, keep on increasing and increasing in wealth and desire. And of course, somebody got left holding the bag. And so I always ask my viewers, do you hold physical gold? Do you hold silver? And if so, how would you liquidate that? Because there may be some better options out there for playing gold and playing silver that you've really not taken into consideration. So maybe a different approach would be you allocate, you don't necessarily speculate, because once again, when you get to the point where you're speculating on gold and silver, you could be holding on to a big stack of gold hidden in a coffee can right in your backyard. But when it comes time to liquidate it, liquidating gold is never an easy process. And so unless you have an exit strategy for whatever you're holding, you need to be very, very cautious about how much you're putting into things, and you avoid the speculation play, but you think more about this like an investor instead. And with that, maybe just an opportunity to think and maybe rethink how you're approaching gold and silver. Of course, there's ETFs. There are things that will actually go into precious metals and mining. Vanguard has a fund like that as well. But maybe, just maybe, you're more cautious about holding physical gold and silver. Maybe the miners could be another play here as well if you were to invest in a company like Newmont Mining, for instance. This company has done pretty well over time, and we can also find a silver miner here as well that maybe, just maybe, is worth exploring, because what this allows you is not just a chance to take part and participate in the run-up of gold or the run-up in silver. It also allows you the opportunity to get out of it at some point in time by trading out of this stock as opposed to holding physical gold and silver. Makes sense? I don't know. Drop your comment below. Let me know. The final thought here is that gold and silver get a run. They've traditionally done well. Maybe about every 15 to 20 years, there seems to be a run in gold and silver. And of course, this usually happens when there's a lot of speculation that the US dollar could be on its way out, or there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, which of course, right now, there's a lot of uncertainty, period. Whether it's the political, whether it is the economic, whether it is reserve currencies, whether it is wars, you get the picture. So right away, gold and silver become wonderful hedges against uncertainty. And of course, when you have governments like China with massive, massive purchases of gold, you get the bigger picture. And so with that, where are you standing right now? I'd love to hear from you. And I want to remind you folks, dropping your comments below really does matter, because we are very curious about where you are on your gold and silver play and whether or not you have a different exit strategy. Getting in is never the problem. Getting out, well, sometimes can be more difficult. And with that, maybe crypto is another play to consider here that many of our investors and viewers have not really thought about yet. So drop your comment here below. And I want to remind every single viewer here that the biggest battle you fight is the one between your ears, over your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Smile, say hi to someone, make their day, and don't forget to be awesome. Thank you for joining me.